All right, so this is Woodman here with another channel message, and this is going to be Arachnomancy Part 2. Arachnomancy, as I previously explained, is a form of divination that uses spiders and their webs to interpret omens and gain insight into future events. This ancient practice is rooted in the belief that spiders, as creatures weaving intricate patterns, hold a connection to the threads of fate and the unseen threads of destiny. This method of arachnomancy often involves observing spiders' behavior, the patterns they create in their webs, and other related phenomena to derive meaning or predictions of the future. And so, as a result, this is a powerful method of tapping into the destinies and way that fate is weaved throughout our universe. Historically, arachnomancy has been practiced in various cultures with differing approaches and interpretations. In ancient Greece, for example, spiders were associated with the goddess Arachne, who was transformed into a spider as punishment for her weaving prowess. The Greeks believed that spiders could offer insights through their web patterns. Similarly, in African traditions, particularly among the Yoruba people, spiders are seen as carriers of messages from the spiritual realm, which kind of makes sense because if you think about the spiritual realm, it's not necessarily time that proceeds in a linear fashion. And so this often influences decisions and interpretations of omens, even if those omens come through dreams, for example, or other worlds like the ethers, the astral plane, and so forth. To cast an arachnomantic spell is typically begun by creating a conducive environment. This involves setting up a sacred space or ritual area where they can focus their energy and their intentions. Common materials would include a clean, quiet room, a spider or its web if available, or symbolic representations such as images or carvings of spiders. Tools like candles, incense, and a special ritual cloth may be used to enhance the ritual's atmosphere. Maybe a particular type of incense as well might lend itself here to be of assistance in casting these arachnomantic spells. Gestures play a significant role in arachnomancy because practitioners often perform specific movements to direct their focus and their energy. This might include tracing patterns in the air that mimic the design of a spider web, making circular motions to symbolize the continuity of fate, or using hand gestures that mimic the spider's movements. These gestures help to align the practitioner's intentions with the symbolic meaning of the spider's web. And this is why I keep talking about the non-linear flow of time, because if you think about it, the way fate is woven, it's not necessarily something that moves forward in a straight line. It may go round and round, but it may also advance as well. Chants and incantations are also essential components of arachnomantic rituals. These verbal elements are designed to invoke spiritual guidance or to enhance the divination process. A chant might involve calling upon deities or spirits or associated with weaving or fate, or reciting phrases that invoke clarity, insight, or protection. The content of these chants may vary by the tradition and the personal practice, but they often aim to create a conducive connection between the practitioner and the divinatory insights sought, particularly if this is one that's going across different planes and different dimensions of existence, whether it be into the astral plane or the ethereal plane or what have you. Materials used in arachnomancy can range from practical items to symbolic objects. Practitioners may use actual spider webs to analyze patterns and derive meanings. Alternatively, representations of spider webs, such as drawings or crafted webs, could be employed as well because it summons up the imagery of these spider webs and their intricate patterns. Some rituals might also involve spider related symbols, charms, or totem items, which would also enhance the divination process because it is in this method that by connecting with this imagery, that and then the downloads can be downloaded into your mind, into your spirit, so that you can receive those messages. In ancient Rome, where it was used to predict the outcomes of battles or personal decisions, Roman practitioners believed that observing spiders' behavior in particular settings could reveal the favor or disfavor of the gods. In the medieval period, European witchcraft practices often sometimes included spider related divination as part of broader magical systems. Because again, there's been a rich historical pattern of including the spider as a creature of great insight. In other cultural contexts, such as in Native American tribes, the spiders have been revered as creators as well as messengers. Their webs symbolize the interconnectedness of all life and the weaving of fate. Practices involving spider webs or imagery are used to seek wisdom and guidance, reflecting the spider's role as a mediator between the physical and spiritual worlds. Casting arachnomantic spells may often involve a specific sequence of actions. Now, of course, I can't tell you exactly how this would go, but generally speaking, first the practitioner would prepare their space and gather the necessary materials. They may then perform some sort of ritual, which may have been passed down from generation to generation by those who are in the know of this, to summon the desired energies or spirits, followed by the observation or interaction with the spider and its web. The final stage would typically involve somehow using this information, using the patterns, using what the practitioner is able to connect with based on the imagery, their imagination, the downloads they receive to somehow make sense of the results. Interpreting the results of an arachnomantic spell requires both intuition as well as knowledge of symbolic meanings. In this sense, the moon might be a very real thing that also needs to factor into all of these things because we know the moon is a source of great knowledge and guidance. Now, a web with an unusual design might be seen as a sign of impending change or disruption in a life's path. In other words, because the web is a bit different from what we're used to, this may show that what is coming next is something that is to be unexpected. And particularly if we're trying to get an answer to a specific question, but it seems like the answer is confusing to some degree. Arachnomancy really involves a great deal of observation, of ritual, of symbolic interpretation, of open mindedness, and be willing to receive images and dreams and patterns, that we receive as downloads that help us intuitively come to our own conclusions. By using these attributes that come from spiders and their webs, this form of divination highlights the belief in the interconnectedness, I cannot talk, of all things, right? When you think about the different planes of reality, when you think about, between the heavens and hell, and between the ethers and the astro, and between our prime material plane and other realms of existence, other timelines of existence, right? Because we also have a multiverse in which there are different variations of who we really are. And sometimes we may be able to connect to alternate versions of ourselves to also receive valuable information that could assist us in certain processes. Once again, when you think about that, the entire multiverse itself is almost like a giant web, the way it is intricately designed, not necessarily interconnecting all the time, but in some way there are patterns formed that if we find a way to cross over, we can find those portals that can open up the knowledge that we are so desperately seeking. That is the end of this message. If you're new here, this is a safe space. All are welcome. If you're returning, thank you so much. I love you. You keep this channel going. Please like, share, and subscribe. And in the name of the Most High God, I ask for your benevolence. I ask for your prayers. I ask for your assistance. I ask for your protection. I ask for our spirit team to keep us in a state where we are able to tackle our goals, our objectives, and to always move forward in life. Thank you so much. I love you. Woodman signing off. That is the end of this channel message. Have a wonderful day.